Deputy Judd says each suspect has a story.
A medical doctor, a retired NFL player, engineers, insurance brokers, and agents.
Take 34-year-old Adarius Taylor, for example, who once played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sheriff Judd says he brought his 6-year-old child to the operation and left them in the car.
This guy here, obviously he must have hit one too many people as a linebacker because his brain cells are scrambled.
Or 48-year-old Sherry Pena, a mother who the sheriff says drove her own daughter, Haley Pena, to the operation.
What are you thinking? She said, whoa, wait a minute. I just thought I was taking her to buy drugs. Oh, that's better. You're taking her to a drug dealer, right?
The social services organization One More Child was fully embedded in this operation. They were able to identify 4 possible victims of human trafficking. They're advocating for legislation that would enhance a first-time soliciting prostitutes charge from a misdemeanor to a felony.
It's an effort to reduce the demand for human trafficking. Because the issue is, if I'm somebody purchasing somebody else, I don't know if that person's being trafficked.
If you told me a few years ago that my fiance and I would be working remote tech jobs, making more money than ever, and living life on our own.
Breaking news as 7 inmates are still on the run tonight as multiple law enforcement agencies try to track them down. 10 in total, remember, escaped from the Orleans Parish Jail. 3 have been caught, but take a look. These 7 are still on the run tonight, and deputies are asking you to please beware of your surroundings and call Crime Stoppers if you've seen any one of these men. WDSU reporter Jasmine Franklin has been responding to scenes alongside law enforcement all day long today. Jasmine, as they track down every single lead.
Elizabeth, tonight hundreds of law enforcement personnel are spread out across our area, continuing their search for those 7 remaining escapees, and they say they will continue to track every single lead until they find them.
There's no telling what, inmate on the loose is capable of.
The manhunt for the 7 remaining escapees continues, with state and federal agencies pouring resources into the search for the suspects still on the loose.
Knowing that they still got some other loose, you definitely got to be careful. Watch how you keep your head on the swivel.
At least 200 law enforcement personnel are helping in this urgent search to find the escaped prisoners, and it is all hands on deck.
I was really surprised to see them running out the door like that. It's crazy how all of them was just able to get out in that timely manner.
Law enforcement is in full force across our area. This video shows a large police presence in New Orleans East on Cindy Place around 3 p.m. Multiple sheriff's office and state police crews were there, along with SWAT teams who had weapons drawn as they conducted their search. No one was arrested in this incident, and we don't know if this is connected to the search for the 7 remaining escapees.
Breaking news tonight. Diddy sucks Prince Harry into a sex traffic cesspool. This as Justin Bieber makes a bombshell announcement amid claims he too was abused by Sean Combs. Diddy grilling Cassie on an NFL mystery.
Everyone in their seats here in Boston to watch the Celtics on the home court. Along with Coach Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. Hall of Famer David Aldridge will be joining us from the sidelines moments from now. Looking at Boston, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Knicks in New York. And that does your confidence, guys, no favor. They got manhandled in that one. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I mean, in that one, you really saw a difference in aggression between the two teams, particularly on the board.
Well, truth be told, they got pumped on the glass. That was the difference in the game.
The all-time leader in NBA wins, of course, the great Spurs coach, Greg Popovich. So, here is a guy who's a peer. What makes him so special, Stan?
Well, first of all, Greg Popovich is not a peer of mine, Kevin. I would never be that presumptuous. This guy is an absolute icon in the coaching world. I think from the outside, I think what makes him so special is he's never looked at himself that way. He's never rested on his laurels. He's a guy that's always evolving and trying to get better.
I love that assessment, but I do think
not in any way.
Now here's White. Target from outside. Here's Barnes. Here's Fox. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. Here's Wembanyama. Rebounded by the Celtics. It's White on the wing. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game.
0 for 3 from the floor so far. Not the start they had in mind. They need to just take a breath, reset, and keep things simple. Well, it took them 4 tries to get their first bucket. Let's see if they can build off that.
Here's Wembanyama. Here's the block.
Look, if you want to shoot over Porzingis, you got to create more space than that.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Out to the right wing. And he banks in the layup.
His first make, and maybe that will get him going.
Here's Holiday. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Here's White. Tries again. And his third shot of the night. No good. 0 for 3. Porzingis with the steal. Oh, and here comes Holiday. All alone.
Great move by Tatum. Getting to the rim and throwing it down.
Greg, you know this. Getting that second contract is a major goal for young players in the NBA, like Devin Vassell.
And Devin did, signing a huge 5-year extension in 23. He ended up having his finest year after inking that deal. Vassell has a very bright future.
And Fox with the drive.
Assisted. And just maybe the quickest player in the league. Fox can get to the bucket and will. Better bring some help when he's driving.
And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
I like to see this. They're parking his number early, and he's delivering.
Yeah, well, his offensive contributions are going to be very important in this game. So it's good they've already got him in a rhythm.
And as he enters his prime, Jason Tatum is shooting to become the face of the NBA.
Yeah, and Kevin, he knows winning is the key. For a star player on a great team, learning that balance, when to take over and when to set up your teammates is a big part of it.
Now, here's Fox. Jason Tatum missing his last shot. Porzingis with the steal. Here's Tatum. And the dunk by Tatum.
And defensively, Porzingis uses those long arms to create the turnover, and that gets them out the run.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
It's White on the wing. Here he goes. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Cunning drive by White. He saw a hole and took it in.
Pass to Biyombo. It's stolen by White. A wide open look here for Porzingis. Good. It's Tatum picking up the assist.
The defense can't lose track of him. He's just too talented offensively.
And that one falls.
Just impressive with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
And it's White missing.
Now, he hasn't been great this quarter. The coaches need to try to figure out a way to get him going.
And you understand that Victor Wembanyama has a chance to be one of those these shifting players. Don't you agree?
No doubt, Kevin. First of all, there's not going to be very many 7-4 guys come along. And then come with the skills that he has on a court, the length, his mobility, how fluid he is. It's unprecedented.
Tatum wide open. He fires one. Off target from three-point range.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
52 seconds left in the first. Wembanyama backs for two. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Jaylen Brown.
Maybe the most hyped teenager since LeBron James. Wembanyama is the poster child for upside.
Tigers from 14. Yes, it's good.
Well, he got to his spot in the mid-range, and that's a shot he's going to make more often than not.
And the shot is good.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Here's Tatum. The rejection by Wembanyama. Here's Holiday. Pass to Brown. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Look, that up fake is a great weapon when defenders are crowding you. Brown puts him in the popcorn machine.
Second free throw, no good. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And here is Barnes. Here's Wembanyama. The shot's good. Wembanyama's got 11.
He's getting him the ball. He's been a huge part of this offense.
The rebound by the Spurs. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Boston. Count it good. And it's 13 points for Victor Wembanyama.
This is incredible.
This is when you enjoy what you're watching. Your team playing well and everything just flows.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Spurs lead by 6. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of the screen. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
Well, the way they've been attacking inside is phenomenal. Consistently getting high percentage looks, and that's what great offenses are all about.
And also, they've been draining mid-range jump shots, measuring the defense well, and just taking what they give them.
In the last few decades, we've seen the three become more and more necessary for offense. I'm wondering if you think that's a good thing.
Well, it is, and teams not only understand the value of making a lot of three-point shots, but the threat of the three spreads out defenses and actually makes it easier for you to get shots at the rim. So the three is absolutely necessary to be a great offensive team.
Quickly, is the arc too close? Should they maneuver that a little bit?
Well, the skill level is really, really high. I like the suggestion of keeping the arc the same all the way around, which would eliminate the corner three.
And now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks. Jaylen Brown has put it all together. He said, I'm figuring out my spots to be aggressive, and that's in my DNA, but also showing how I've grown. Being a great screener, deliver passes on time, and on target. That's important to being a great team. I'm focused on being a better basketball player. Kevin?
Yeah, and he's a smart one too, right, David? He is something else. Outstanding stuff, DA, as always. Here's Wembanyama. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from Brown.
And the basket is good.
And they done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
And it's Fox with the jam.
Fox has got great leaping ability, and he likes to get up off the ground there for the flush.
Can you talk about a stacked roster? It's hard to find many weaknesses for the Celtics.
Yeah, Kevin, there's a reason the Executive of the Year award went to Boston's front office last season. The Celtics are built right, and they're built to last.
And the incredible reach of Wembanyama helping him knock away that one. Great ball movement there.
Celtics trailed by 14. Quarter two and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Here's Pritchard. Nothing on the board. Boston again missing.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
Substitution for the Celtics.
Here's Pritchard. 11 points last game. Pass to Cornette. Outside, White. From downtown. Chance shot. Cornette can't get it to go.
Well, the defense was right where they needed to be to stop the layup. Great awareness and effort.
Embarrassing.
For Fox, you gotta love seeing how he's such a willing passer.
Offensive rebound. Cornette. No good. That's miss number 2. He's 1 for 3.
Why don't you leave?
State versus Sean Combs in full swing today in the Monahan Federal Courthouse in Manhattan. Joining us outside courthouse, Lauren Conlon. Lauren, first of all, tell me more about what's happening
Unselfish basketball. That's what
It was
coaches
an
love to see.
intense day with Kathy finishing up her cross-country on the man. What the defense seemed to be doing was really poking holes in quite a few of her statements, really trying to discredit her.
Well, I hear what you're saying, Lauren.
Guarding him, you want to be as physical as you can and keep him as far away from the basket as possible to negate his length. Defensively, or when you're on offense, his defense, I think you want to use his instincts to block shots and his tip, take the ball out and draw in, and get the ball to open him.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, but if it were that good, it would work more often. Well, as long as Wembanyama's in the safe, there's a chance he's blocking your shot.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
Yeah, when you're moving the ball like that, it just keeps everyone engaged in the game.
Here's Pritchard. Scoreless thus far. 4 on the shot clock. And it's White missing.
And the Strokes definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target. It's impressive, the level of domination at both ends, and you're seeing the results.
Yeah, and to do it on the road, it shows how well prepared this team was coming into this contest.
It's over, it's out of bounds. Craig touched it last.
He would force her to do free calls with other men, sex workers, transporting them from other states.
He's dominated the first half of basketball. So far, he hasn't been a miss. It's the Spurs.
Okay, yes, Tim Brown joining me, Executive Director of Standing Strong.
There wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up in the second.
On girls and women. It seems to me that every way he could embarrass her, every way he could humiliate her or debase her,
And here's Fox. He'll bring it up for the Spurs.
I know that
Well,
she's
Stammen, when the Spurs landed the first overall pick in the draft, their fortunes changed after May 16th, 2023.
Look, Kevin, the hardest thing for any franchise is to find the guy that you can build everything around. When they got Wembanyama, that dream came true for San Antonio, and they got the guy that can build this franchise around for years to come.
The defense is even using these texts because the reality is the man should never be on the field.
Second personal foul. First team foul.
And that's true in her text directly.
Here's Wembanyama. Wembanyama, no good. It's a team on Holiday. Inside. Wow, no good. Spurs lead by 22. It's Vassell on the wing.
Sean Combs' real personality emerged.
And he uses access on the way.
And she did not feel safe, she did not feel loved, she felt right in Indians, and then she tried to express that. So these exchanges were not really an accurate depiction of what this relationship is like. The most accurate depiction would be the video footage from the hotel. Back to Lauren Cohen at the
They've been
courthouse.
linked together because they play a similar position, that they don't have to be similar.
Used by both parties.
They are.
They really need to focus on Kathy's drug use
They're not the
and the
same.
fact that she needed to do drugs
I
quite
remember a
often
couple of years
without
ago, there was
being
some thought
present.
that maybe
And
one
the
would be
defense
traded.
being like,
This is
well,
still
Ms.
together.
Ventura, you can show that Mr. Combs wanted you to do less drugs and he was bad when you would do drugs with your friends. And Kathy said, no, he was bad when I would do drugs without him. They also seem to blame a lot of the blame on his violent behavior due to the fact that he was coming down from opioids or withdrawing from opioids.
That was big for him, wasn't it?
Okay, hold on just a moment. They've got a $10 million defense
for that 5-year extension in
but
July.
don't they know the law about voluntary use of drugs and alcohol? Straight out of a veteran trial lawyer joining us, Eric Status, founding partner of Garner Status, a legal former felony prosecutor. Status, voluntary use of drugs or alcohol is never a defense. If it were, everybody in Polk County
And it's Wembanyama with the jam.
Well, this is why Wembanyama is such a nightmare. The size, the speed, the touch, he has it all working.
And that's a tough play. Porzingis.
Doing his job on the glass and moving it with
And Greg, it's not everybody in the league who can make throws. Sometimes he's a player.
He gets paid to be a factor on the glass. That's a nice dunk to finish it off.
Outside Holiday. On 3 pointers, right on target. Holiday's got 5 points so far.
Holiday finds ways to score inside and beyond the arc.
I tell you, he's playing the game with pure excitement right now.
He kicked off that dunk with some serious hang time on the rim. Here's Holiday. And again, it's supposed to be converted.
Yeah, well, that's a veteran move by Holiday. Take what they give you.
And Wembanyama back for 2. He uses the glass to finish the win. 29 points for Wembanyama. It's tipped. It's Brown on the wing.
It was an accident. It was self-defense. It was
And finished off by Brown.
Brown gets off the floor so easily.
That's what that means.
And the Spurs with possession. Outside Fox.
Uncalled BS on you, Mattis.
Pass to Wembanyama. And even 3-on-3 break. From way outside. It's deflected.
Vassell, they were using that 6'10" wingspan to his advantage. He is impossible to finish.
Six to the paint. Here's Biombo. Banked in off the glass. 8 points for him.
Defense. That's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this down.
Damn, an unarmed person.
And that one's good.
The attack is obvious. Get the ball inside. He keeps it strong to the rim.
Porzingis hits a two. He squares up and sinks it.
They can shoot it really from anywhere on the floor. Porzingis knows he has the green light to fire from there.
To the middle. And Wembanyama. Good analysis from Fox.
Easy W.
Just a second here. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs holding a 25-point lead as they come into the fourth quarter.